Hey folks, I gotta tell you, when I work with entrepreneurs, which I do almost every day, people issues come up all the time. In fact, I'd say probably 60 or 70% of the issues that get faced by a great entrepreneur have something to do with other people or themselves. But people issues in general are a big deal. Number one, it's that conversation around the person on their team that's just not stepping up, okay? And the entrepreneur or the founder is just frustrated with that person to the point of maybe even letting that person go. Number two, the entrepreneur is feeling overworked, like they're having to do everybody else's work, and they reach a plateau, and I've written a lot about this in other blogs as well. And number three, you've hired a new person, and they're now coming on and expecting to be told what to do and given some direction. And in all three cases, what's really clear is clarity, okay? Let's try saying that 5 times real fast. What's really clear and what's needed is clarity, okay? So back at an old job I had, we got together and created this thing called a green sheet. And I'm a big fan of the green sheet, so let me show it to you now. So the green sheet is basically a tool that gets filled out between a manager and an employee. And where I come from, we actually made the employee push for it with the manager because the employee is the main one that benefits, although the manager benefits as well. But the employee, we made an expectation culturally that the employee would push for this with the manager, or the manager can push it as well. In fact, we went so far as to make green sheet tablets and put them in every single meeting room, and we were a little larger company. But just grabbing this green sheet and walking through it is a wonderful way to drive clarity, the clarity that's needed between a manager and an employee, or a founder and somebody on their team, or even a founder and a co-founder. It can apply to all those things. So let's go through it real quick. First of all, there's the delegator and the delegate, okay, who's being delegated to, and we want to clarify who that is. In this case, I might be the delegator and I might be delegating to you. There's an assignment name, okay, I'm going to give you a project. So delegate, I'm going to give you a project to write up an ROI spreadsheet for an upcoming new product launch, let's say. And then I give the assignment context. And so that outlines the background, the current situation, and relevant facts. So we've done new products in the past. We typically do them every 6 months. The last one was a success. The one before that, not so much. So anything you think is important around that project gets listed in the context. And typically that should just be the facts. Another fact might be we're running out of money, or you only have this much money, for this project. Those kinds of things go in the context. Then we write up the purpose. What is the quick 2 to 3 sentence overview of what you're trying to accomplish with this assignment? I really want you to nail this ROI, and this is going to lead to a go or no-go decision on this particular product launch. See how clear that is, the go, no-go, and then what the deliverable should be. And the next section gets even more specific around the expected results. These are the deliverables. And be very, very specific. I expect you to create a spreadsheet. If you want these lines in the spreadsheet, or make sure this is covered, make sure that's in there. And I also want you to put a little deck together that outlines the ROI that I can use for my board meeting. I want 3 pages in a deck. It's going to tell me, it's going to have 1 page that's the financial projections, whatever, okay? You want to be as specific as possible in the expected results. And I would also say keep it simple. And now in the expected results section, or the purpose, the background, the purpose, and the results section, this gives the delegate, the person being delegated to, lots of opportunity to ask you some questions. Make sure there's clarity around those 3 parts, okay? The next section is what we call the level of delegation. And this was something I learned from a guy named Andy Stanley. Great podcast if you can ever watch it. But he outlines 4 levels of delegation. One is investigation. I want you to go investigate this and come back to me. You're being assigned the responsibility of getting information that's necessary for me to make an informed decision, for example. That's level 1. Level 2 is informed progress, where you're being assigned the responsibility of running a task that we have designated, that we have designed together, and reporting on your progress. So that would go up in the expected results. I want an update on where you're at weekly before Friday at noon, for example. So that's informed progress. Level 3, informed results. So you're being assigned the responsibility of delivering the objective by determining the path to get there and reporting on the results. For me, that was like my VP of sales. He had full control over how to go get the results, and I gave him that control, but he had to inform me on those results, and for me and the board and everybody else. And then level 4, pure ownership. You have complete ownership of the project, and I will assume you're getting it done. So you can see having this conversation can be very powerful. Now, where my VP of sales might think he's at level 4, and we have a conversation where I think he needs to be at level 3, this is a conversation that needs to occur so that there's clarity, and it gives those folks who are maybe at level 1 investigation and they'd rather be at level 2 the opportunity to prove themselves and move their way up to level 2, 3, and 4. It gives a nice clear path, and it makes sure you're on the same page and that trust is being built. Does that make sense? Which is the biggest reason I see entrepreneurs having a gap in delegation is they just don't trust the person. So this allows you to build towards those ladders, and it helps you to see those folks on your team that are really motivated to go do this the right way. Okay. And then last but not least, there's the key deadlines and milestones. Be very specific on what and when. You will update me in a weekly report. That'll be in bullet form. We will meet weekly to go over your progress, whatever. So the deadlines, this thing is due May 1. All the deadlines and specific milestones should be outlined and agreed to. It's very, very important that you agree to this, and that's why we have signatures at the end. It's a one-page, nice, easy way to just fill in a template that drives amazing clarity with the people around you. And I've seen where this is used. It solves all kinds of problems. And it can also ferret out folks that don't belong and see those disconnections between you and an employee quicker, which allows you to act better and for them to see it as well. That it's just not a good connection in 1 out of 10 cases, but in the 9 out of 10 cases, you get clarity and everybody's happier. And for founders who struggle with delegation, it makes it much easier for you to assign things and move forward and have trust that it'll be done a certain way and that you've got a document you can hold that person accountable to. And they can hold you accountable to what you agreed as well. All right? So let me know how the green sheet goes for you, and I wish you all the best out there building your Change the World business. Thank you.